Welcome back to Better Dig 2, the husband and wife horror podcast bringing our couch conversations to the masses. I'm your host, Maddie.
And I'm your host, Shrade.
Grab a seat on the couch and let's talk horror.
Maddie, my love, it's late July. It is almost as late as we could have recorded in July.
Uh-huh.
But you know what that means?
What does that mean?
It's Shark Week.
It is.
Yeah, and how do those things tie together? Don't worry about it. I'll tell you. As an animal-loving millennial who grew up on Discovery Channel and horror movies,
Same.
this is a pretty solid
Nice
week
little-
for me. Yeah, a nice merging of the two. And we get the opportunity on this platform to bring you a shark-adjacent tale. It'll be good for the algorithm.
Yep.
Yeah. So Shark Week, this week's going to be dangerous animals. We could have done Deep Blue. We could have done 47 Meters Down. We could have done Jaws. But I like the Australian guy and his cute accent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at. That's why we picked this week.
Okay. So, Dangerous Animals, written by Nick Leppard, directed by Sean Byrne, starring Hassie Harrison as Zephyr, which is Laramie from Yellowstone, for any of those who watched that. Jai Courtney as Tucker, which is funny because he goes by Tucker like the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's his last name.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they ever say his first name, but
Yeah, it's
credited.
Bruce.
It's Bruce.
Yeah,
so I
kind of
love
on the
that.
nose, shark nod, like it.
I love it. So if you don't know, that's Captain Boomerang from Suicide Squad or whatever his name was
Yeah.
from Divergent. You know, he's been in other stuff, but I like this character was a lot like very similar to his Captain Boomerang character.
Yeah, I like it.
And then Josh Houston as Moses Markley. So the only thing I've seen him in was the Off Campus series. So, but I feel like he's got a lot of stuff in production, and I like him as a new
Yeah, he
actor
seems.
on the scene. So
I like him. He's got a good personality. He's likable. He's tall, dark, and dreamy. Yeah, he's got all the things.
got the accent.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and for the summary, when Zephyr, a savvy, free-spirited surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, he must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding in the sharks below. That was also my terrible accent. Please, no comments. It rules. And as always, this is a spoiler-filled review. We discuss big plot points, things that we like. If you don't want this to be spoiled or haven't had the chance to watch this, turn back now. Come back later. It's all good.
All right, let's get it started with the rubric. First category, acting quality.
Okay.
I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I agree. I gave it a 4 as well.
It was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like Oscar worthy, but it was a really good bad guy.
Yes.
He did great.
Yeah.
And then the main girl, she did really well of not making it cringy.
Yeah, I think she was really solid at playing like the scream queen heroine, but sometimes they kind of make them a little too like I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened. So I guess a good comparison for that is gonna be The Descent. That whole like punk rock, like very strong independent woman doing their thing, and then also actually were badasses. So
Yeah.
Zephyr
But
was rad.
badass, but not like invincible.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she played that, which I'll go into this a little more later, but she played that line of trying to seem unafraid, but still being terrified. Like putting on a brave face, trying to be tough, but still like fearful for her life. She walked that line really well.
Oh, 100%. And I think one of the things that this movie really lends to is that everybody who had like a speaking moment within the story did a decent enough job on the supporting cast side. But our 3 main actors were fucking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. All right. Next category, visual effects and cinematography. it was lacking. It wasn't the best CGI. There were parts where it just felt like stock video
Yeah.
of the fish, of the sharks. So I gave it a 3.5.
I gave it a 3.5. I could see an argument for a 3, but the thing
Yeah.
for me is there are so many really good angles that we'll talk about later
Mm-hmm.
that, like, the guy behind the camera knew what he was
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
It's just like the post-production team kind of
Yeah.
dropped the ball.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. There was a bunch of really good shots, like beautiful shots
Mm-hmm.
of the ocean and some of the things they did. But yeah, not the best CGI. So
Okay.
Okay.
Audio, I
audio,
gave it a 4.5.
same here.
Great soundtrack, opens up very well.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of get emotionally invested in the characters early. There's even a talk of Ooby Dooby through the whole thing, which if you like Creedence Clearwater Revival, which you fucking should, it's great. It's not the best song they've got, but it's pretty solid.
Let's see. I'm a Bad Moon Rising fan myself.
Listen, Fortunate Son is just
yeah.
untouchable.
Anyways, it didn't have a lot of like, soundtrack. It had a couple of like, songs in there, but the use of the audio and the music cues to build the tension
Yes.
was really good. And then audio would cut at perfect times. Like the audio engineering of the movie overall, I really enjoyed. I thought it enhanced the movie quite a bit.
Yep. I think there were some dynamic shots that the audio lent itself to be like the perfect, like, cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those scenes is one of my favorites.
Nice. Okay.
Next up, I have story. It's 4. It's somehow sharks. It's serial killer. You've merged the two into a unique and fun blend.
Mm-hmm.
It works. I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
There's that whole abduction scene isn't so far fetched. A guy posing as, I mean, not even really posing, because he does take full groups out, and it's just the groups that nobody knows that they're coming out to see him that he's like, sacrifice.
Yep.
So pretty sweet. I liked it, and there was never really like a big dispending of belief. So yeah, good for them.
I also gave it a 4. Agree with everything you said. I really like the fact that it is a shark horror movie, but the biggest threat is not the sharks.
Yeah,
You know?
they are just the vehicle for this fucking maniac.
Yeah, it's almost, no pun intended, almost a red herring. So
That was terrible.
I said no pun intended.
Okay. Next up, I got scariness. I gave it a 4.
Same.
I get more freaked out about abduction because it's
yeah.
like a thing that actually happens.
Mhm.
Like, where if it's ghosts and ghoulies and goblins as a creature feature lover and gore lover, it's just like, okay, that's really cool over here. But for this, it's like, oh, dude, it's just like a big guy who can overpower his victims.
Yeah.
like,
And later on, when you find out how long he's been doing it, it makes 100% sense because he's so charismatic.
yeah.
And he's got a great setup for what he does.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
He's got it all figured out.
Yeah. So, okay. Last category, enjoyability. I gave it a 5.
I also gave it a 5. I think this is like one of those quintessential perfect summer watches.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the most horrific. It is not the most like on the nose zeitgeist. It is just serial killer shark in it. It doesn't need anything else. It knew exactly what it was. It didn't try to do anything. There are sometimes it does pull you out of reality on a couple of things, but not to the point where it just ruins the movie for you.
Agreed. So, all right. Bonus.
Oh,
So
let's
I
see.
gave it 2.
All right, I gave it 4.
Okay. I'll go first and I'll let you wrap it up. Okay. So I really enjoyed the movie. There wasn't just anything super outstanding that I would give a bunch of bonus points, but I had to give one first to Jay, however you say his name, because he played a charismatic psychopathic killer so well.
Yeah.
And like that I'm done for. I love a good bad guy, you know?
Yeah.
And he did so well, and he just pulled you in. So that's like the perfect formula for a great serial killer. It's like a Ted Bundy, you know, just charismatic, and yeah. So, and he did, I mean, he just did great. And like his couple of little times he had monologues, they were so good. So he definitely gets a bonus point. And then flip side of it, I'm giving a bonus point to Hassie because, like I said, they were just such a great pair.
Yeah.
For those characters, and the challenging each other. And like I said, she walked that line so well of being the badass heroine, but also the scream queen. You know, we didn't get like a Sidney Prescott where somehow she's this badass. Doesn't really make sense.
Okay.
Where Hassie, she's smart and she uses it. You know, she uses whatever she has to her advantage.
Yes.
And she puts on that brave face, but she's not stupid about it, and you can tell she's still scared, you know, rightfully so. And so she played that part so well. Like, it never went cringe. So quickly it goes cringe on the leading girls in horror movies because they get this like hubris about them sometimes that is not warranted at all. And hers, I think, was. So those are my 2 bonus points.
Okay. Well, one of mine is also Jai playing Tucker. I think you can't get better charismatic unhinged.
Yeah.
It was so well portrayed. I think I really cannot think of another actor that I would throw into that position or another role that fit that actor so well.
Yeah.
So,
and then the fact, just like he's already Australian, like perfect accent. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah. Another thing that like really big props to this movie, the pacing was on point. There were little lulls in between, but it was just all hills and valleys. It was never just big drop, stayed stagnant, then shot up.
Yeah.
It was just ratcheting throughout, and like the soundtrack and all of the visual and audio cues just lent it to this happens, then this happens, this happens, and it all makes sense. So I really appreciate that. It's a fucking shark serial killer movie.
Yeah.
That's a whole other point. Like, again, I absolutely love the idea how they were able to roll it up into one cohesive story and make it make sense and make me believe that Tucker is just an absolute menace.
Yeah.
And then for my final bonus point, it is just going to be a nod to probably one of my favorite scenes, and it is when Heather is being given to the sharks. That, for me, I was just, first time we watched it, I was like, oh God, like, because you were being lowered down in super slowly, you're completely helpless. So every time that apparatus is used to lower somebody into the chum-filled water with the sharks, just, I mean, it gets me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrifying for sure.
Okay.
So
for a total, I gave mine a 29.
okay. Scored a little higher than me. I gave it a 27. So solid B.
Yeah, still respectable B.
I think had the visual effects been better, it probably would have landed in A territory.
I could have seen that.
Because the story, the acting, everything else was real solid. That some of the CGI scenes just lost it for me. So
I completely agree. And as somebody who rated it higher, it is on the cusp of our A. So it's just like a little more work post credit or post production, and it would have been so much better.
Yep.
Alrighty. We ready to get on to scenes?
Yep.
Okay. How do you want to do this? You want to go one for one?
Let me start with our least. Okay.
Okay.
So, and a lot of these, they're not, some of these are actual like gripes, like I did not like them. And then, you know, some of them you'll see that they're not actually like bad, but,
yeah.
And it took a while to get to a least favorite scene. I mean, it was towards the end of the movie before I really got like a least favorite scene. And it's one of my, it'll always be a gripe in every horror movie is not finishing the damn job.
Yeah, you have
Like
to double tap.
taking one swipe at them, one strike, and having the opportunity to finish it, and you're fine, and not taking it. So that was the point where I was like, come on, girl. Like, if anyone's gonna do it, it'd be you. They did. It wasn't just like a stab and run away thing. There was a little bit I could almost like agree with the way she did it. So she stabbed him. He went down. She was still handcuffed. So she got the keys first to get herself undone. I can kind of understand that, because if he's like dead but you have no keys and now you're just stuck there, it's like a Gerald's Game situation. Like, when is someone going to find you? So I can understand like getting the keys and getting herself free first, and then maybe taking care of it just to make sure like you have a way out. But then she should have gone and taken care of it, and she didn't.
Agreed.
She like started to run away, and he comes back. So that was honestly probably my biggest like scene gripe. The other things, it just goes along with the bad CGI.
Okay.
And it wasn't just like the sharks and some of those shots. This one I felt like could have so easily been remedied, but just the blood in the water, like on the surface of the water, like it was clearly CGI in some scenes. Like there's scenes where he's like chumming the water actually, and it looks like it's supposed to. But then there's other scenes where, and maybe they couldn't get it to show up right. I don't know, but
I think
clearly
there's that. But
was
I could also see
CGI, just blood in the water. And
I could
it was
also see
bad.
some actors or actresses that were put into the water not like. I think it would be hard to kind of get out of that mindset
part.
too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, one scene in particular I'm thinking of is like she's hanging over the water. Nobody's in the water.
Yeah.
Because she's like bleeding into the water, or he had chummed it, but she was just hanging over. She hadn't even gone in yet. And it was just, you could tell it was all CGI blood. So it did not look good. So I thought those could have been like easy fixes, I think. So
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Now these next two I did not like because I wanted to throw up. So, oh my God. Okay. So she is like trying to get out of the handcuffs on the bed. The Moses is bleeding out across from her after his failed like rescue attempt. And so at this point, she's like more desperate. She's like almost got a little more to fight for, or it's getting down to the point she knows like time is super running out for both of them. And so she's got to get out of these handcuffs. So she breaks her thumb, and dislocates it. Well, she breaks it, and then the guy comes in. So she just has to like sit there and like hide it and wait. And just like, that's got to just be agony. Then he leaves, she comes back, and she's like, moving it to where she can try to slip the cuffs off. Doesn't work. So she was just like, okay. And then she bites it off. Oh my God.
It was
like,
an awesome scene.
Oh, it was great. But the whole like going through the pain of breaking it for nothing.
Well, it's kind of like did you try turning it on and off again? Like most basic troubleshooting.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go for that one before just immediately biting it off. I get
100%.
that. But now I did like the fact that for me, that made it more plausible, I guess, because like if it's already broken or dislocated, I feel like you would more easily be able to bite through it because you're not having to bite through like bone or anything. I know you're still having to bite through tendon, but the fact that it's already broken, like you're not going through the bone or whatever. So I felt like that almost made it more believable or plausible to me that she could sit there and bite her thumb off. So
I can appreciate it.
That one just
Okay.
Next one, similar concept when she stabs him through the hand, or he goes to block it, the knife, and it just right through his hand. Oh, I hate that so much.
It's like a real common occurrence.
I know, I can't stand it.
That's funny.
Okay. Okay, next one. This one was just like, it was not believable. So she hops the boat, starts swimming to shore. she does not get that much of a head start on him. She's also injured. She's like dehydrated. She's been through everything and weak, and she's swimming to shore. I get it. She's a surfer. She is a strong swimmer, but she does not get that far of a head start before he hops on the little lifeboat or whatever.
I think you might be underestimating how long it takes to launch a dinghy.
I know, I get that, but you could still see her and how far away she was from the boat when he got on the boat, and she was not that far away.
Yeah, honestly, if they would have just shot it a little bit different, like
had the boat been further out,
or
like they
even,
had done a shot and then he was on, but whatever.
Yeah,
it just she like beat him to shore swimming, and him in a little motorboat, know, and it just it could have been shot better and made it more believable. So.
I agree.
I didn't like that one. Let's see. Only one more. And this one made me mad because I get that she's like has cheated death so many times. She's like just hanging on by a thread basically. But she is smart, and this was just a very dumb moment that I feel was not in character. And so at the very end, she shoots him with the spear gun. He falls into the water. Shark gets him. And she's just standing on the coil of line. First off, I don't feel like that much would have like come out of the reel. I don't know really how a spear gun works. But I feel like the momentum of the spear is what keeps pulling that line out. And so as soon as it got him, it would have stopped. Right?
I don't know. Because I think he was starting to pull on it.
Maybe.
So it was
but there was just a
unspooling.
ton. There was like a bird's nest of it on the ground, and both feet, she's just standing in it. Like, really? So it ends up getting tangled around her feet, and she gets pulled in because of it. So it just, I don't know. It kind of felt cheap. Like, it was just one last, like, you think everything's good, and then, like, one last little, so.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary scene.
Yeah.
It was something I think they could have cut, and it would not have taken away from anything. Like,
Yeah.
you already had like the climax. Tucker, has met his end. She's already like had the one-on-one, spiritable moment with the shark, and then that's all you needed. And then them getting the flare and doing it. But
yeah,
I still forgive it. Like,
I mean,
it's fine.
had it been her downfall, I'd have been like, that was dumb.
Okay.
Like, that was just trying to make her fail for no reason, but it still kind of didn't sit right with me. But that is all my least favorites. So what about you?
I have two.
Okay.
You had a lot.
They were just kind of gripey, and like I said, two of them were
two of
just
them
like,
don't
because I was like, oh, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Just
So my gripe scene was a little bit earlier than yours.
okay.
When Tucker is on the boat and he is doing like a fishing little like montage where he's got a tuna. Number one, the way that they showed the tuna was it was just like a paused frame.
Yeah,
kind of,
it was like one of
movement.
those parts I thought looked like stock video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of whack. And then also, like, it looked like a pretty big tuna. And listen, as somebody who grew up fishing, that is not the correct equipment.
Yeah.
The pole was much too small. The reel was much too small comparatively to the size of the fish or what the size of the fish looked like. So for me, I was as such a weird little like fishing nerd on it. That was a gripe.
Yeah.
The other was, of course, similar to you, failing to double tap. I, however, will give kudos to it later because I think that it'll be the first time that I've seen a part of a shit bucket used as a weapon.
I have a comic that involves later. So
Okay.
so that was all your leasts.
Yep.
All right, let's hop into favorites.
Do it.
Okay, so starting at the beginning, the opening scene when you see his first victims, you meet Heather, who we end up seeing a lot more of later.
Yep.
They get on this boat to go on this little shark cage diving, excursion. And he is, first off, creepy from the get-go because he's like, oh, so nobody knows you're here. And it's just like, that should have been a red flag immediately.
I don't know, because I think like Australians are given this. I don't want to say like
They're just blunt, I
they're
guess.
yeah, very blunt,
Yeah,
and so
like
like
jokey and. But anyways, so they're on the ship and they're going through all of it, and you like him immediately. You get that charismatic, vibe from him. And then they do their little dive, and they come at first. She's terrified going in.
Mm-hmm.
She comes out and she's just like the wonder. She was like, that was amazing, blah blah blah. And then like he helps her out of the cage, and then he helps the guy out of the cage, and it's just like, yeah, haha. Grabs his knife and just stabs him right in the throat, and he just starts bleeding, and then he just boop tosses him back in the water, and then he looks back at her and he's just like, welcome aboard, It was it was unexpected because you didn't know if there was going to be one early on. You didn't know how it was going to happen. And I mean, just didn't skip a beat. Helps him out, grabs a knife, stabs him in the throat.
You are missing probably the best part of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because this one's also my first favorite.
Okay.
Everything you said, I completely agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker does an amazing job. You missed the fucking them singing Baby Shark. Like,
it was so funny, but that's what I was saying about his like charisma coming out and just being like, you're like, oh, he's just silly. Like, he's
this is an
trying to get
ancient
him
tradition to calm down, and then he
Yeah.
starts singing Baby Shark, and then the other guy starts singing, and then
Yeah.
they all wind up doing Baby Shark, and it wasn't one of those like. It very well could have been a very cringy scene.
Well, and
but-
honestly, that's where I thought maybe he was gonna kill the guy.
Yeah.
Because like they're holding hands, they're dancing, and I thought, he was gonna get it like unsuspecting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like braced for it there, and then I was like, okay. I just was not expecting it as soon as he pulled him out of the shark cage and just stabbed him in the throat.
Yeah, I completely agree. So that we don't have to go over that one
Yeah.
on my end.
Okay.
Please continue.
My next one. So there was like a TikTok a little while back, and I completely agree. I love when a bad guy does a little dancey dance. So his whole little scene, he's like in his underwear and a robe, and he's like he's just like psyched up after Heather gets killed.
Yeah.
And he's just like riding this high, and he's just down in the galley, and he's just dancing. And so yeah, bad guy doing a little dancey dance.
He's got some moves, dude.
Yeah.
And like robe wide open.
Yeah.
Like
red
underwear.
Yeah, briefs. It's
Yeah.
like, yep,
He's
I'm here for it.
It's a very hunky man.
Okay, the next one. So the dual revelation scene of seeing like the dual perspective of it, of when you finally understand like how many victims he's had.
Yeah.
So Zephyr is down in the hole where he has him locked up, and she had seen one name like carved into the wall. And so it's right after Heather's died. She is carving her and Heather's name into the paint. And then she notices there's like a painted over spot. And then it flips back and forth to him down in the galley, and he's making a fish hook out of Heather's hair that he cut off before he, craned her down into the water. And he has a VHS tape. He tapes the kill. He records it. He has her name on it. He creates a fish hook with her hair, and then like puts it in the case, labels it, and then he opens his cabinet and he slots it in, and then it flips back to Zephyr, and it's zooming out, and you see all these painted over spots, and then it goes back to him, and it zooms out, and you see his whole case of just like two like long rows of all these VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And so just like I said, that dual revelation showing like how many victims he's taken.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's that hopelessness.
Yeah.
That
it's really like what sets into
he's gotten away with this. He's been doing this for so long. Like your chances of survival, have not been high, and you've just realized it though. Like they're much lower than you knew.
Yeah, and I think like it's always so interesting to have like every serial killer in like main media has got like a trophy case. I guess like the one that like comes off immediately is like Dexter Morgan.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like blood samples.
Mhm.
But it is cool to like those mementos that he has locked on the ship.
Yeah.
And it's really this like self-contained ecosystem that he's made himself.
Mm-hmm.
And this scene lends really well into my second, which is when Tucker is munching cereal. So
Mhm.
Zephyr is down below.
Yep.
She just kind of is coming to, and then she starts screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where my big kudos for the audio cue that we talked about earlier was there is like a slight shift in pitch, and you just see Tucker is like watching something on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The screaming is continuing, and he's just sitting there eating cereal, no big deal. And you're like, okay, it's definitely Zephyr. And then
Because it does, you can't see what's on
the screen.
Yeah.
And you don't know that he like hasn't taped anything. We don't know that he's just watching one of his trophies as he's munching
Yeah.
cereal. And you're
so
like,
it's
holy
not
shit.
it's not Zephyr you're hearing scream. It's what's playing on
Yeah.
TV. And yeah, him just munching his morning cereal, just watching one of his tapes, is diabolical.
Oh yeah, and it really the revelation that happens after you find out like that he just watches them constantly is just it's so gross.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my next one. So I was mad that she didn't double tap,
Mm-hmm.
but then she still fought, and I have a point about that too. She fought the whole time, and so she shanks him in the neck, which was just you're like, yes, feel so good about it.
Yep.
And then when she's running away and he's chasing her and she's like running up the stairs, and he has his needle with his like sedative in it, and he gets her in the leg, and then she just kicks him right in the face, sends him flying back. You're just rooting for her. It's just so good. So
Yep.
I enjoyed that. So then Moses's rescue attempt. That's my next one.
It was great.
And again, you have this character they have just met, and he follows this gut feeling that this is not right, even though he doesn't fully know her, but he's following the gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so often in horror movies, your gut feeling gets ignored, and that's what gets you killed.
Yep.
But he's just such a good guy, and he's putting all this on the line for this girl he barely knows, and he's got stuff to live for. He's not just some nomad like she is. And so I am very glad he lives in the end, because I'm glad they both lived in the end, because they deserve to. And so often in horror movies, like when they're stupid, I'm like, you know what, you deserve to die. And I did not have that moment with either of them. I was rooting for them so hard through the movie. So, but yeah, his whole rescue attempt, and like just how he was figuring it out, because, he didn't just like leave it up to the authorities, like, oh, they'll handle it.
Yeah.
He was like, they're not doing enough, and he's doing his own stuff. And so, yeah, it was good. Let's see. So in with Moses' rescue attempt, it's just that like false hope. And that's such it's just a recurring theme throughout the movie. You get this like false hope, and then it gets dashed, every time. But yeah, when Moses, he's about to get him too. And you're like, he's choking him, and you're like, Moses is going to get it, and he's going to rescue her. And then like Dave or whatever his name was, and you think you're like, oh no, I liked Dave, which is his like
another
crewmate.
bum. Yeah, it's a bum on a houseboat that like parks in the same marina where Tucker's at.
But he's like he works for Tucker, because he handles like the calls and stuff and sort of the scheduling.
Well, I think like if people come to the dock, like he'll help, because that was the whole thing. Is he was like, Tuck, I got a lead for us, blah blah blah. But you have to give me some money.
Yeah. Then you think that like maybe he's in on it. He knows what Tucker's doing, because he like comes and hits freaking Moses over the head like right when he's like about to have Tucker knocked out, and then he's like, what's going on? Da, da, da. And then freaking Tucker kills him. And
Yeah.
then you're like, damn, he really didn't know. He was just some old dude with a little crusty dog.
Dude, that crusty dog ruled.
knew Tucker was a bad guy.
Yeah, and then when he, gets fully impaled through the top of the head with the gaff.
Oh, yeah, and then he falls on it.
Falls on it, and you're like, ugh. And then Tucker, while the dog is barking, Tucker just looks at him and, ah!
I know. You're like, no, not the dog.
Yeah. So, like, we
And then
never
he just
know.
gets down on all fours, just barking in his face. It's so funny.
Yeah, so and you don't see if the dog runs off. I'm
No,
assuming
he did.
He did run off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're still, they're at dock, so he just ran back off. But
Yeah.
okay, so then my last one, and I really liked this part of how it tied into the story and like the storytelling of it.
Mm-hmm.
So Tucker goes on this monologue. It's after he's chased her down on the boat. They get to the shore because she swims up to this like wedding reception or something that's going on.
Yeah.
And again, it's like you think as soon as you get on the shore, you better start screaming. Well, she just swam a long way and she's out of breath. Then she tries,
Yeah.
and
then
it
he just,
barely comes out, and he like dives off and gets her, and it's just that hope, hope is building, and then it just gets dashed again. So then he gets her back to the boat, and she's tied up again, and all this. And so he goes on this monologue about why do you think marlin are the sportsman's dream fish?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they're not the prettiest, they're not the biggest, but he's like, it's their fight.
Yeah.
You'll never have a better fight than with a marlin. And so he's comparing her to a marlin. And so it's like, even though he's like mad that she's running away and doing this and fighting, he's eating it up.
Yeah.
And this is his, like.
This is magnum opus.
Yes.
Like, this is the perfect, like, this is
But
what
then
he
he
wants.
does this, like, he has this, like, menacing line. He was like, but really, it doesn't matter. He was like, because, for the fish,
Mm-hmm.
it's life or death.
Yeah.
He's like, but for the fisherman, it's just another afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, the fisherman always wins. And I mean, it's, and she, again, it's that part she seems like all hope is lost. She's back in his clutches. She's, hanging from the crane. Moses is now in the seat to watch, but he's like
still bleeding out.
Yeah.
Still like on death's door.
It was a great line because, in his eyes, he's won.
Yeah.
He's reeled his fish back in. He has he also said something. He was like, what the fish doesn't know is like, as soon as that hook's set, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so good. So I loved that comparison because then she gets in the water and she gets loose, and there was a Chekhov's gun when she was escaping earlier, and she had the harness on, and it caught on like this piece of glass, and it was keeping her from getting away, and he was able to get her back.
Yeah.
But then it ended up being what it ripped,
Mm-hmm.
when she was on the crane. And so she was able to get loose, and she comes face to face with this ginormous shark that supposedly was the one that tried to kill Tucker all these years ago, that like started this whole obsession.
Yeah, so it like really does come full circle. And commenting on the Chekhov's gun there,
Uh-huh.
that was something that I wanted to talk about, because every time the escape attempts failed,
Mm-hmm.
there was still something positive that came out of it. So it was just like, it was kind of that underlying, story of like, you have to keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually all these tries will pay dividends later on.
Yeah, and it wasn't, and they were all like, it wasn't just like unlucky failed attempts. Like,
No, it was just,
it made sense.
yes.
So, but with the marlin thing, so she comes face to face with the shark. So he's been making this comparison that she's the marlin, and then she comes face to face with the shark, and it's flipping, and it's making the, just visual comparison that no, she's not the marlin, she's the shark.
Yeah, and then the story completely flips on its head
And it
there.
flips back up to him, and he's like looking in the water, and he's like, where are you, marlin? And that's like his like downfall right there, is underestimating her.
Mm-hmm.
And considering her the marlin when she's really the shark.
Exactly.
So I loved that little bit of, and it's one of those things that's not just spoon fed to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like seeing that in a horror movie where too often we're spoon fed the story and all the, underlying, unless you're like just a Jordan Peele movie and then you have to go read a dissertation afterwards.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of have to.
I think it was a good balance here,
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I think effective storytelling and the pacing, I think that's one of the things that slows down movies quite a bit is just gratuitous amounts of over-explaining or unnecessary shots where we need to zoom in on an item doing a thing for like 4 or 5 seconds. It's like, okay. Just trust the watcher to be competent enough to watch it. And if not, there's Spark Notes you can go to after.
Well, I think they get so worried about getting like bad reviews because people aren't going to understand it. So we need to hand feed it to them. We need to give them all the clues, explain everything. So
fair. Okay. Let's see. We've talked about the opening scene already. We talked about Tuck's cereal munching Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
I briefly touched on it, but when Heather is fed to the sharks is such an impactful moment because it's the first time we've seen what he's all about. Like we really understand it. And you're like, okay, that's crazy. Video camera, and there's almost like an arousal that happens while he's behind the camera.
And his, all the nonverbal, all the facial, he did so well. Because I mean, you're like, you're
creeped out. He's horned up over this,
and the fact that it's like he is a serial killer, but he's not even technically doing the killings. He's putting him in the position.
I mean, he definitely did serial kill the guy.
Well,
like murdered the guy, so he definitely did kill him. He did kill he would have killed Moses, and Moses continued to bleed out. He did kill possibly Dave, whatever his name was.
That was
the old man.
Gaff guy,
yeah, the gaffer. And another thing there, too, is when the body was chopped up and he was using that guy as chum.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet, so I did appreciate that. Another one that I had was when we talked about the trophy scene a little bit. It's very like shrine to his god.
Yeah.
Like there's like a deific touching
because he makes that comment, he's like looking out at the horizon and he was like, everybody thinks God is up here.
Yeah,
he's
but
really
it's down below.
Here. Yeah.
So the fact that they keep that pretty linear throughout is like, okay, how crazy is he? Oh shit, he's even crazier. Oh man, he's crazier than that. It's such an effective storytelling method when you've got a talented actor who can really put all that together. And I mean, kudos. Like casting choice was phenomenal. Actors pulled through.
Well, and I just the you don't get that charismatic like psychopath serial killer. They're so often just so really reserved because they have to keep it together. To make sure like they don't get caught. But the fact that he can be this like outgoing guy but yet you see the serial killer tendencies, everything's got to be like in line, in ways.
It definitely felt very much Bateman from American Psycho.
Yeah.
And like even the dance scene. Yeah. Where's the
bad guy doing a little dancey dance.
Yeah, bad guy doing a little dancey dance. And then for my final one, Zephyr begins her escape attempt. It's like a great blend of her entire like character, everything that she's done up to this point. She again stays very consistent throughout, putting on the brave face, but also knowing that the outside world is scary, right? And this is the worst case scenario for somebody in her position, a female nomad rolling across in a foreign country that she's not native to. And she's abducted by this fucking crazy man who believes in shark gods and feeding them.
Well, and like he had just helped her. So it gave that, you're like, oh, we're good. And so she's not like keeping an eye because he's put her at ease, he just helped her, and then,
Yeah. But those were my favorite scenes. Again, there aren't a whole lot of least favorites in this. It's just for time's sake, we got to stop talking about it. Okay. On to favorite effects.
Okay.
Am I good to take this one off?
Sure.
Okay. The way the belly of the ship is so grungy and disgusting, and the way that they were able to shoot it, it made it feel so claustrophobic and like miserable.
Oh yeah.
So they used atmosphere, cinematography to make it tight and claustrophobic. They made it look fucking hot in there. I mean, it felt like hell. And in the moment, you're just like, oh god, like you could smell it too. So they played with all of the textures, sight, sound, smells, sensations that they could have, and they crushed it.
Yep.
Next one is the practical effects of body parts.
Yeah, they were good.
Heather's body remnants. The hacked up guy that we're gonna call Dave.
Yep.
The head and bits that are kind of like left over, I thought was good. The body gore was great. All of the stabbings looked very, very realistic. They were not like these rugged, massive gashes. They were just deep, incision
and
wounds.
the blood pouring, and it was good blood.
Yeah,
like coloring and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I think they crushed on that. And then I've already touched on it, so I won't touch on it for very long. But having crazy be consistent throughout a movie is awesome. There is no like turn face or wearing a false mask or like trying to explain it away. It's just they knew how they wanted this character to be, and he was that from start to finish.
Yeah.
And I again, kudos.
I did like the part, so when she throws his camera overboard, and it fucks with his whole schedule and everything.
Yeah.
And he does get angry, and he goes to shore. He's breaking his patterns. He has to go try to find another camera, and it's got to be this one, that'll record directly to like a VHS tape. And he goes to this like thrift store, and he's like snapping at people, just seeing that the mask slip there because she had messed with his procedures, and it just threw him off. So I did like that.
Yeah. Tucker, we can just talk about what a great performance. But continuing on, when she breaks her thumb to escape, then bites it off, that was so sick. I mean, I hate that it was one of your least favorites.
At least in the fact that it made me want to throw up.
But like again, it shows this like what desperation will do and the things that you can overcome to make it happen. To not only that, but to like save save Moses. So like the catalyst before is trying to save her and Heather, and then Moses has gone through hell to get to her. She sees this. She has this disdain for Tucker, and it continues to build and build and build until finally she hits a breaking point. You can see it, and it's game over. There's so much desperation as she was like breaking her thumb. When it gets caught, it goes back to her face, and she's just downtrodden. Then the door opens, and then Moses is in his death throes basically, and she just munches it off. And I just thought, how fucking cool is that? And it, like, what would you do to survive? And bite off your thumb? That's one of them.
Yeah.
But those were my favorite effects. What you got?
Okay. So when you could tell that it was like underwater shots like that they had done for the movie, it didn't look like stock or whatever. I thought they were done really well. They did the whole like you just riding a ride above the surface of the water, and then they would do that dip, where you can then see underneath and see what you're missing. I thought those were done well. Any of the underwater shots that weren't CGI that you could tell they had taken that didn't look stock, didn't look CGI, I thought they were good.
Okay.
And then the couple of times when Zephyr got drugged and the screen's blurring, pulsating, you can really feel it more than just seeing how it's affecting her. Just by her stumbling around or slurring words or whatever, or sweating, like it just adds that additional effect to it. I like that. And then kind of going off of yours saying, what would you do to survive? So, the first time we see her and Heather in the hole or wherever in these two beds, Heather's been there for, we think, only like maybe a day or two. She hadn't been there very long.
Yeah.
So Zephyr goes to start screaming, and Heather's immediately like, no one can hear you. Like, she's already like accepted this fate. And she's trying to like tell Zephyr, like like pushing it on her.
Mm-hmm.
And Zephyr just refuses to quit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that good like dual perspective of the situation. And then you're like, well, that would be Zephyr in a day or two would be like Heather, but she doesn't. And then after Heather dies, Moses comes to rescue, gets attacked, taken down, gets put down there, and he gets put in the bed Heather was in. And before he gets stabbed in the stomach, so he's just been like maybe hit over the head or punched, like he's not dying. Well, he got gaffed in the back, but still he's not bleeding out. He's injured, but he's not dying. But he's over there and they're talking, and he immediately goes to this like accepted the fate. He's not doing like what Zephyr did immediately. And so I like seeing those different reactions, or the stages of like grief or acceptance or whatever.
Yeah.
How it's like she's always in this bed and she's just fighting. And then whoever was in that one just immediately kind of gives up and accepts their fate. So
yeah, it's just one of those things. Like you have these characters that serve their roles and they stay consistent throughout. And again, I'm gonna gush about it every chance I can.
Okay, let's see. How did the movie make you feel?
I'm a little more afraid of Australians. the unhingedness, again, nature there is just scary.
Oh
right?
yeah,
like everything is wanting to kill you.
Yeah.
And so like it takes a certain kind of people to live there.
Yeah.
And resourcefulness. It's one of those like, we might make fun of Ray Gun because what the fuck was that? But just regular Australians, like super sick people.
Oh yeah.
So it's just one of those like they kind of command this respect.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, I think I might have a man crush on Jai Courtney.
I'm surprised you didn't already. Like from Captain Boomerang.
Listen, Captain Boomerang was cool, but Idris Elba was more of a lunk in that one than Captain Boomerang was, respectfully. But that's kind of where I'm at. How did this movie make you feel?
So the constant like flip from hopelessness to hope to hopelessness to hope. You just trying to follow along and like, is this going to be the chance? Oh my God, we're done. Which I think is a good, like just with the two different, you see it in the people, you have like hope and hopelessness. And so then you feel that throughout the movie. So I really liked that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alrighty. Any questions that you had for the movie?
No, not really. I guess it didn't leave me with anything.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, because a lot of times when we do this segment, sometimes it's a little more comedic. Other times it is legitimate. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, they didn't leave anything open-ended. They didn't, leave any loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything else, you can pretty much fill in the blanks or, draw your own conclusions. But I think it was good.
Okay.
What about you?
So I do have one gripe in this question. So you're telling me that not a single person heard the boat come up to this like wedding reception. Like it is an outboard engine. It is fully fucking ticking away. The beach itself is pretty well lit with all these like, candles that are around it. And you can hear people just like talking and laughing. So there's no way in my head that I'm like,
That's been having a hell of a party.
Yeah.
And already been trashed.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is that whole, again, the party boat that comes by. And so this is just them ashore and they're...
Yeah,
right,
maybe.
Another one, in my final question, is Ooby Dooby a top 5 song from Creedence Clearwater Revival?
I don't know about that.
I think...
It's just one of those. It's so funny to hear. That's Creedence Clearwater, and then you have Fortunate Son, and you. Have,
yeah, they've got range.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just fun.
I thought it was a very funny song for them to choose as the,
I mean, it works because they start playing Ooby Dooby at the end,
And she uses that as her like little one-liner to kill him.
Yeah,
It's
how good is the Ooby Dooby motherfucker? Like
Yeah.
that's rad.
It was funny.
Yeah, I like it, and a lot of times, like you get the heroine or the hero with the cheesy like one-liner at the end, and I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like it is campy, it is fun.
Well, and it was kind
it's
of
great.
like she talked shit about the song because when his car started, she gave him a jump. His car started, and that's what immediately started playing. And she was like, "Wow."
Well,
and-
I thought it was her car.
No,
Like,
it was his car
Oh,
that
'cause,
started
yeah, 'cause-
playing Ooby Dooby, and she was like, "Really?" And he was like, "It's a great song." And she was like, "Oh, not a Creedence fan." And she was like, "I am, but Fortunate Son's right there."
Yeah.
And he like goes on to like tell her, he was like, Ooby Dooby is just a metaphor for love. He was like, because when you're in love with someone and you get that Ooby Dooby feeling, And so it was kind of stupid for her to say that at the end, but also that, he came to rescue her and she had run away from him because I'm pretty sure she would like kind of felt the little Ooby Dooby, you know?
Yeah.
And so she was like, nope, I'm out. And so then she like fought to stay alive to save him. And so that was just kind of like, this was your downfall and this is what saved us. And
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
all right. Detail, gripes, or kudos. So I really just have a kudo, which it's not really a detail because it's blatant throughout the movie, but I really didn't have anywhere else to put it. But I loved all the improvised weapons.
Yeah.
She was resourceful, and that is one of the reasons I'm like, she deserved to live because by all means, she was trying to survive and she was fighting. Even when she didn't have a weapon, she was fighting. She was struggling. Like the 2 times when he grabbed her, I mean, she was swinging, kicking, like anything to try to stay alive. She was doing it,
Yeah, we had a pan, we had a cricket bat, a gaff,
the bucket handle.
The bucket handle.
She used like the underwire from the other girl's bra to try to pick the lock on her handcuffs, like all kinds of things. She fought for her life. And for someone who acted like they didn't have much to live for,
what little she had, she was fighting.
she was fighting for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, big kudos for that.
Okay. I got a kudo.
Okay.
How do you ratchet the tension up so effectively with the pace that this had?
Mm-hmm.
There was never a time that it felt like we were getting too much too quickly.
Nope. And
But
never
there was
felt
never
slow.
Yeah, it never felt slow. So kudos for the director and pacing, like how you are able to keep that on what I'm assuming would be kind of like a lower budget movie.
Yeah.
Because there weren't a whole lot of other actors. So
Very limited cast.
yeah, which previously in some of our other ones we talk about stuff like Undertone and Obsession, how smaller budget, smaller cast will make absolute bangers.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at on it. Only gripe is the final action sequence, the CGI shark and Tucker's
shark-
body.
The shark coming out of the water wasn't the worst, but having Tucker in its mouth and his like CGI was where it was even more noticeable.
Yeah, if I was the director behind that or the post-production team, I would have been like, this is a like snap.
Yeah.
Just give me more gore floating in the water afterward.
Yeah.
Don't make me look at this horrific, blurry mess and then go from there. You know what I mean? So that's really my only gripe.
Agreed.
Who is this movie for?
Well, Shark Week fans, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a great Shark Week movie. Like, obviously, you go watch the classics, you can watch Jaws, but, you've seen it a million times. So, if you want a new shark movie to go watch, that's horror related, go watch this one. It did have not great CGI, but it was not as bad as Jaws 3. The 3D shark, and then breaking the glass. It wasn't that bad.
Listen.
So we might have shit on the CGI, but it could have been way worse.
Yeah, also time period.
I get
3D.
that.
Okay.
It was,
I'm just saying
it
we
was
can't make
not
a
that bad.
1-to-1 comparison.
but it
Okay.
wasn't that bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think anybody who wants like a good serial killer movie, but also give it like that summary twist.
Yeah.
I think that is the right way to do
Mm-hmm.
it. Anybody that's looking for like a Wolf Creek Australian horror, this is the one.
You want to see a shark movie with a hot guy in it?
You want to see somebody do a little dancey dance?
Do a little dancey dance in his undies?
That's right. Well, that is our take on Dangerous Animals. Let us know what your favorite shark movie is down below.
Happy Shark Week to those of y'all that celebrate.
Hell yeah.
Like, subscribe, and share for more horrifying content. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay spooky.